Hello everybody, today I'm going to be drawing some ocean slash aquatic creatures. Honestly, I kind of just feel like it, and I feel like it would come out as a really cute spread. So I've got my sketchbook here and a pencil. I want to keep these pretty doodly and not super realistic. And I've also got my Ohuhu markers just to add a pop of color. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's just get right into the video. So I'm starting off pretty simple with a jellyfish. And again, I'm not going for super realistic, but I did want to get kind of like the structure right. So I added the tentacles and then I added these like squiggly lines that I saw on them. I'm not sure what they're called or what they are, but they look pretty cool, so that's cool. And they were really fun to draw. I added some little bubbles and sparkles, and then I went in with a light gray, and I feel like it wasn't the pop I wanted, so I also went in with a blue, and I didn't have a lighter blue than this, so it was a little bit bold, but I tried to tone it down a bit by using the colorless blender, but I think it turned out pretty magical. So we are moving on to the next creature. And if you haven't guessed already, it is a fish, and I decided to go for a goldfish. And I actually drew a fancy goldfish compared to a regular one because I thought that'd be a little cuter. And yes, I'm aware that goldfish are freshwater fish and that jellyfish are saltwater, but you know, they're both water, so I think that still counts. But yeah, I made the top part orange. I kind of went into a yellow just to add a bit of variation, and I really like how the colors kind of blended together. And I also went in with a darker orange to add a bit more value, and I also re-outlined it with my pencil. I didn't want to use pen because I thought that would get too dark, but I added some bubbles and sparkles again, and it was on to the next one. So I decided to go for a seahorse next, and this is in no particular order. I was just choosing creatures and going with it, and I decided to go for a yellowy brown color because I feel like it was close to the goldfish but still different. And I really wanted to keep these sketches more doodly and like I just put on a bit of color, so I didn't want to fill the whole thing in with color as you see me doing for all of these. So I felt pretty happy with that, and it was time to move on to this one. And of course we've got to do a shark. I'm not sure what kind of shark this is, so don't even ask. I think it turned out so cute, and I love its little face. And so of course I went for blue to color it, and I feel like this blue was definitely a bit bright, but I used a kind of more purpley blue as a darker color to kind of tone it down a bit, and I think it adds a nice pop of color. And again, I prepped it pretty flowy, not perfect, because that's the vibe I wanted. And then of course I went back with my pencil to outline everything and make sure you could actually see the fins and stuff. And I also added some gray for shadows on the white part. But yeah, I think sharks look pretty intimidating looking, but this guy is real cute. But it's time to move on, and now I decided to do a stingray. Again, I know they seem super random, and that's because they were. I was just kind of pulling creatures out of my head that I wanted to draw. I was literally like, ooh, stingray, that's cool. Let me just pull up a little reference and get going. But yeah, I used both a warm gray and a cooler gray to shade it. And I've noticed with these markers, the longer that you let them sit and kind of mix with each other, the better they blend and kind of look better. So I definitely had to wait and trust the process. But I added a bit more gray, and then I forgot the little fins in the back, so I added those in. And then we moved on to, in my opinion, the cutest creature on this spread. And that is of course the umbrella octopus. I love how we went from freshwater to the deep part of the ocean in one spread, but I'm here for it. And of course I went for the light pink color, and I didn't want to color the whole thing in this color, so I just kind of tried to blend it out a bit. And this was in hopes of making it look more clear like it's supposed to. But I just love its little face, so cute. But now it's time to move on. And I went for a puffer fish. And I wanted it to be recognizable, so I went for it when it was actually puffed up. Which, if you didn't know, is only when it's like alarmed or scared. Usually it looks like a pretty regular fish. But yeah, I just drew a few spikes and went with a similar color palette to the seahorse. And I'm not gonna lie, this one is definitely not my favorite, but what can you do? And I had a lot of choices for my last option, but I wanted to bring back some blues because I only really had that with the shark and the jellyfish. So I decided to go for an eel, and I made it more blue than most of them are, just because I wanted to bring the blue back, and if I did make it gray, it would have been too similar to the stingray right next to it. But I finished that up, added some bubbles, and then this spread was complete. Okay, so here is how the finished spread came out. Oh my gosh, I am in love with this. I love all the little creatures here. I think they're all super cute, and I like how they're not super realistic, but you can still tell what they are. If I had to pick a favorite, I might have to go with this little guy here just because it's so adorable, but I do like all of them. But yeah, this was a lot of fun and definitely made me happy. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye!